guys in the locker room, it matters how they do.
Everybody good? We'll open it up for questions, microphones around the room from them on and off the game.
Kenny, how do you feel going into your first real game? I know you've been through this a lot as an assistant, but is it a different feeling? Or?
Right now, no. Maybe when game time, maybe yes. First of all, I feel good about it. I think we've covered what they do. Again, Bellarmine is a very good basketball team, very smart, one of the smartest teams that we'll face. An excellent passing team, excellent moving team, set great screens. We have to be alert. Everything that I talk about defensively that I want to see this team do, you better do tomorrow, because if not, they'll burn you. They run their stuff great. Again, literally they're just watching what they did last year, watching what they did against Center College, 14, 15 passes before a shot. That means that ball is moving. Every player on their team are great post-up players, so we have to be alert. We have to be ready to play great post defense. Then again, one of the best passing teams we will face. Very well coached. As we all know, Scotty Davenport is an excellent coach, been doing this a lot of years. It's going to be a challenge, but hopefully we're up for it.
Kenny, when you talk about the stuff that they run, especially with some of the things you guys did defensively in the exhibition games, how much do you guys have to be concerned about the way they cut and just sort of their actions off the ball?
We have to be concerned about all of it. One, again, I say this, I've been saying it from day one. To me, when I look at basketball, to me the best offensive teams are the best passing teams. This is an excellent passing team. This is a team that moves well without the ball. They run their stuff over and over and over again, and they wait for you to make a mistake, and when you make that mistake, they burn you. We will have to be alert. And to say I'm concerned about one part and not the other, I'm concerned with all of it. And we've, for the last couple days, 3 or 4 or 5 days, we've been sort of talking about how to defend their actions.
You said you feel good about what you know about Bellarmine. What about your club? How do you feel going into this with your guys?
That's the key. The reality of it is Bellarmine is a great opponent, tough game to start a year off with, but it really boils down to us. And we've been saying that no matter who we're playing, you have to conquer yourself. Before you're able to deal with an opponent, you got to be able to deal with your own insecurities, your own doubts, your own inadequacies as a player, but also as a team. So it really, as good as Bellarmine is, this is really going to be about us. How focused are we? How disciplined are we? How tough are we to do the things that we practice and work on every day?
Kenny, before the exhibition games, I heard you say the line, this is about winning or learning, and it may be that way for a while. Does it change when the opponent is from the same city?
Not at all. Not if I'm about what I'm saying I'm about. I'm about teaching the right stuff so that we can have sustained success, and that doesn't change no matter who the opponent is, where they are. Of course, I want to win worse than anybody else in the world, but at the end of the day, it's about these kids learning how hard you have to train every day, how hard you have to play in these games. You're playing a team that really wants to beat you really bad with a great coach. So it's really about them. They're learning.
Sort of piggybacking on that, but I mean, for them, it's only their third year as a D1 program. They've played Gonzaga, UCLA, all these teams, never beaten them. If they were to beat you, it'd be the biggest win in their program history. Do you address that with your players, or just not talk about it?
I think that was addressed when Everett's team came in here and beat us. I don't have to address it. We know now 100% that we can lose to anybody. But we also know if we're focused and determined and fighting and tough, we can beat anybody. So that part I don't have to address anymore. If there is a bright spot to losing an exhibition game, it's that. You can lose to anybody. These are veteran kids who've been in college basketball a while, regardless of if it's Division II or whatever. They have experience. They know how to play, and you're going to have to focus and fight.
Kenny, you talked on the radio the other day about, and the numbers show it, what you were like in the two games with L and without him on the floor. How's that process coming along of developing behind him? And ultimately, down the road, could Kamari factor into that some?
I think so, but I really, for me, I got to get Fabio and Hersey confident and competent in what we're doing offensively and defensively. It's going to be a learning curve. Every day we're pushing them, not giving up on them at all. Again, we're going to know who we are as a team January, February. You know, regardless of wins and losses, I can't be concerned with that even though I want to win every game, but I got to get these guys better. That's the most important thing. Every player on this team, they matter. As you just said, what happens when L's off the court? Well, we got to do that by committee. I got to get Hersey better. I got to get Fabio better. That's my job.
Kenny, after playing some exhibition games, now that you're able to see the team and what you have, how beneficial has it been to have that film to be able to go over some things? And I guess what has really stood out when you've been going through those learning process?
Great question. I think the first thing is my first month working with the guys to the first red-white game to Everett's team to Chaminade. There has been a lot of growth. Is that good enough to win? We don't know yet. Probably not. We have to continue to get better. The thing that I'm proud of is that we are getting better. Is it easy? It's not easy at all. It's very hard. I'm losing my throat right now, my voice, because I'm yelling and screaming and begging and pleading when I need these guys to get it, not just for me, but for them, for this city, for this state. I need them to really buy into this is really bigger than us. Everybody's behind us. Of course, there's going to be some people against us, but at the end of the day, we have to know that this is bigger than us.
In that regards, as far as Kamari specifically, how much of a growth have you seen in that month or so from him?
Kamari is a very good basketball player. Kamari has great size. He can score on 3 different levels. There are still things that he's learning, both offensively and defensively, how to read and react off offensive players, how to read and react off defensive players. So I'm pleased with Kamari. Kamari is going to be a great player. He's getting better every day. He's a willing learner, and he comes in every day and he works. I look at him and I look at JJ, and I say, you could be a starter on this team. I look at this like I have 7 or 8 starters, and I can change the lineup at any time. Just depends on who's playing what, at where, and how their mental state is at the time. So I don't look at Kamari as a backup. I look at Kamari as a starter. That's the best way I can answer it.
Fabio didn't play in the last game. Was he injured? I noticed he had something on his knee, and is he available for Bellarmine?
He's definitely available. He did not play because the second half became a dogfight, and I had to do whatever I had to do to try to get these guys to have a win that leads to confidence.
You'll hear coaches say all the time, like, you can't really start to coach until you don't have to coach effort anymore. How are those guys? How are they doing with effort? How are they in those exhibition games?
I'm coaching effort every single possession. And in my mind, I've heard that slogan for years. I will say to you that it's no longer the case. Every coach in the country is coaching effort. It's a major part of how you win. Really and truly, if you're in shape, coaches are calling me saying, you figured it out. Just being in shape and fighting, regardless of your skill level, you have a chance to win. So effort is a major part of that. And every day, that's mostly what we are coaching is effort and toughness.
Everybody good? One more.
Kenny, what will that moment be like when you come out of the tunnel and you go to that bench and you're coaching a game here at Louisville? Kind of what kind of things will be going through your mind in that moment?
The first thing is that I want to make sure that this community, this fan base, this university, this city is represented the right way. That's pressure. The pressure for me is not the wins or the losses. It's how do I get these kids to understand it's not about Kenny Payne. It's not about one particular player. This program is the universities, the cities. It's your program, the fans. So we are out there fighting for everybody, and we want to represent the right way. We want to play hard. We want to play tough. It's hard for me to spin it and say how I will feel. My emotions will be all over the board, but really and truly what's really important is that I put a product on the court and I get guys to buy into team. And let's bridge a gap. Let's make Louisville proud. Let's make the city proud. Let's make this program get it back to starting to where it needs to be.
One follow-up. Is it fair to say, I mean, you come in, the schedule's made. I mean, this is not an ideal opener for you in your career, right?
Not at all. Not at all. But it is what it is. That's why I keep saying we win or learn. It can't be win or lose. It can't be. That's unfair to me. That's unfair to these kids that are in this program. If it's win or lose, it's just not fair. We have to come in this and look at it like every single day we're getting better. We have to come into this about how hard are we going to fight to prove. Can we win these games? Of course we can win the games, but we have to do it a certain way.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.